You know, it's a lot of speculation about him. I occasionally fuel the speculation by saying that I hope he runs. I think he'd be a very good president. I understand the decision-making process pretty well, and I know that he's wrestling with the decision.
All right, folks, welcome to Gimme 5. I got to tell you, anytime I could bring you George W. Bush, it is such a contrast to the man in the White House today. Any opportunity I have, I will bring him to you. He's been doing some interviews about the book he wrote about his dad. He loves his father more than life itself, and it shows in the book. It shows when he speaks about him. But he also loves his brother, and there he's weighing in on whether or not Jeb may run for president. Here's some more on that.
I think it's 50-50. Look, he and I are very close. On the other hand, he's not here knocking on my door, you know, agonizing about the decision. He knows exactly, the ramifications on family, for example. He's seen his dad and his brother go through the presidency. I'd give it a toss-up. I know this about Jeb. He's not afraid to succeed. In other words, I think he knows he could do the job, and nor is he afraid to fail.
Yeah, well, you know, look, nothing against Jeb Bush, although I wouldn't vote for him in a primary. He's way too far to the left for me. On immigration, he's way out of touch. But, you know, really, have we not had enough? Seriously, as Bush's mother once said, have we not had enough of the Bushes? And have we not had enough of the Clintons? That's all we could come up with in this country is another Bush versus Clinton race? I mean, come on. Anyway, here's some more.
I think it is, yeah. I mean, I put our family through it. And one of the lessons you learn from George H.W. Bush is that you can go into politics and still be a good father. In other words, the priorities of your life don't have to be compromised. I know Jeb's priority is his family. A priority is his family. I also know it's his country and his deep faith. And he has seen that you don't have to sell those out in order to be a politician.
The question from Bob Schieffer was, is it worth the sacrifice? Is it worth the invasion of your privacy and the family's privacy? And he says, yeah. And he talked about how, you know, he's learned from his father that you don't have to, you know, compromise who you are to run for president. Now, he was also asked, and George Bush has addressed this before, George W. Bush has addressed this before, how he always took it more personally when people badmouthed his father than when they badmouthed him, and how hard the defeat in 1992 was for him to take. They also addressed whether Ross Perot, the third candidate in there, which allowed Bill Clinton to win with less than 50% of the vote, if he weren't there, would his father had won. Here's some of that.
The 92 defeat was really hard, and ironically enough, it did make it easier for me because when people criticized my dad, somebody who I admire greatly, I didn't react well at times, and it really affected me. When they criticized me, the sting wasn't nearly as difficult. It actually, being his son during his presidency, created kind of a layer of asbestos. The only thing I was concerned about was that how would my girls react when they were put in the same position I had been in.
Yeah, interesting. And here he talks, he's asked, well, what if, you know, Ross Perot had not been the third candidate in that race in 1992? And he took a significant portion of the vote. Did he take most of it away from your dad? And would your dad have won if there was no Ross Perot? Here's how he responded.
I think he'd have won.
You do think so?
I do, yeah, absolutely. I think he'd have won, and I just can't prove it. I mean, it's just all conjecture, of course. But I think he would have won because I think ultimately there would have been a clear choice between, a guy who had a very good first term and a untested governor.
Yeah, very interesting. All right, this was part one of this Gimme 5 segment on President George W. Bush speaking. He'll speak more about Iraq and his dad in Iraq, him in Iraq, and going forward in Iraq when we come back an hour from now in this segment, the Gimme 5 segment. So make sure you stick around for that. You're not going to want to miss it, I promise you. Stay tuned now for your Newsmax Now update.